All right, guys, today we're here to do a video for the JVL touchscreen computer. Now, as you guys know, I have a Mega Touch here behind me, and I love the Mega Touch, and I love touchscreen games like this from back in the 2000s and stuff. And JVL is another one of those. There were the two main competitors. It was Mega Touch and JVL. Now, most people know Mega Touch, and they know their games more than anything else, especially here on the East Coast, because that's what's around bars. But JVL was a big player in that role as well. So I have a JVL machine. Now, this one is a little bit different than the Mega Touch I have here behind me. The JVL is actually an HD touchscreen system, so it's a 22-inch screen as opposed to this one that I think is either a 17 or a 19. So it's a bigger one. Has better graphics in the games, being an HD system, and it just looks like a newer version of what the Mega Touch was doing compared to the version I have. So they both are really fantastic. They both have their own games, and I want to show you guys now some of the games on the JVL and what this thing can do. If you guys decide to add this to UBAR. They are becoming harder to find. They are expensive when you look on eBay and stuff, over $1,000, so you have to find a good deal on these if you're looking for them. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
All right, guys, here is the JVL touchscreen, 24-inch, gaming computer slash bar, whatever you want to call this thing. And I love this thing. I love the Mega Touch, which I've done a video on before as well. And this JVL is basically what was in competition with them. And this is it right here. This is a 24-inch screen. You can see on the top it has the lights that flicker and actually react in certain games as well. There's the 25 cent for quarters. And here is the actual bill acceptor here at the bottom. Now, one of my favorite features about the Mega Touch that this also has is tournaments. I love running tournaments with people when they come over. Unfortunately, on the JVL, though, for tournaments, there's actually no way to run a tournament and making the tournament free. On the Mega Touch, I can make tournaments free and not cost anything. On here, they actually need to cost something. So in other words, your bill acceptor needs to work, or your 25 cent machine needs to work, because or else you won't be able to run the tournaments. And you can get into the tournaments by touching on the top 5, touching the top like 5 times, entering in the password that you would have set up. And then here's where you can change actually everything. This is the operator dashboard on here. You can enable games, you can turn off games, you could wipe away, all the high scores that have been done in the system. You can change credits and stuff. But if you go to tournaments and stuff, and you can also change when the exotic games show up or if they show up at all those kinds of things can be done here. But here in the tournament section, it's really cool because you can basically create a tournament and you can set anything you want. But you can see here when you set the price on the Mega Touch, there's a way to set it for free play. On here, there is not. So it needs to cost at least 1 credit. So you need to make the credit cost something, and then you can come in here and select whatever game you want to be a part of the tournament. But I really, really like that because it adds, fun when people are over, that I can have tournaments running to see what the high scores are. We can compete and stuff like that. So I really like that about these machines. And of course, I really like that every game keeps a high score as well. One of my favorite things about these machines is being able to, have people come over and play them and then see all their high scores as you play them. And like I mentioned before, this is an HD touchscreen. And what makes it HD is, you can see here on the bottom, the new games, they all say HD on the bottom. And one of the most popular games on here is Gone Fishing HD. So if you come in here and you tap on this, like I said, this is one of the most popular games on here. They're probably the most recognizable when it comes to the JVL touchscreen, is Gone Fishing. And this one tells you how to play. You can skip over it. And then you kind of, oh, that was terrible. You got to press this button to actually hit the fish at the right time and try to get the furthest distance. And you can see, it keeps track of who has the highest score up there. It says me at 907. And that's really cool. And then you always have like a little gold thing on the bottom here that tells you, who's actually in the lead, which is really cool. So you always have something to compete against. And who has the longest shot, which is me right there. So it keeps track of all high scores and stuff like that. So if I were to go to, can I click on here while I'm playing? No, it doesn't look like it. Let's just quit out of this game here real quick. If you see on the top here, you can also see a little how to play without actually playing the game, and it will pop up. Sometimes it will be an actually interactive thing like this. Sometimes it will just be words that are, popping up. It will show you even a preview of certain games. that show you how a game works with the computer kind of just playing it for you, showing you what you need to do, which is really cool. And then, of course, here's the Hall of Fame. So every game you can just touch this, and you can see what the high scores are. So you can see I have the top high score on there. You can see my wife is on there. So it keeps track, and it even keeps track of all the dates, which I really, really like as well. Some of the other games that are really popular on here besides that one, another one that's really good is Monster Bash. If we click on Monster Bash here, this game is all about, and what's really stands out about this machine over the Mega Touch that I have is that some of these games look really, really good. Like this one here looks fantastic. You can tell it's in HD, and it's one of the best looking games on the system for sure. And this is all about just firing at monsters and trying to, you know, kill them, but not kill the humans. And they come from everywhere, so this game is hard. And you're trying to set this high score, and obviously, as the game goes on, it gets harder and harder and harder. And you're trying to compete for high scores. In an effort to show you a variety of games, I'm just kind of going quick in and out of these. Another one that's really popular, is it on this list? Or is it on a different list? It is What the Difference, but I don't want to show the erotic version because I'll be killed on YouTube. One of the other ones that are in HD that a lot of people like is Gone Karting. Now, one of the things that I noticed with these systems, seems like the Mega Touch has more games that are 2 players and 4 players. This seems to be more geared towards 1-player games. There are some 2-player games, but a lot of them are 1-player. So as you can see here, this is basically Mario Kart, and I just got rocked. So it does take a little bit to get used to trying to play a kart racer on a touchscreen, but the controls are definitely responsive on the touchscreen. It just, especially me trying to play behind a camera, isn't really going to work out very well. Rocked. But you guys get the idea. And you can use different weapons and items and stuff to hit people. So that one's a really good one. You just got to actually pay attention and use the controls well. And it takes a little bit of time to get used to. Now, another one that's really popular on here, probably the second most popular right underneath that Gone Fishing one, is What the Mess. Where is that? I forget if that's sitting under... Actually, it's probably under Classic Games. What a Mess is right here. And this one's really cool. So this one is all about... It's kind of like Find Waldo. You basically get a bunch of different items that you need to find. You start at level 1, and it shows you here at the top you need to find a dinosaur, money, a clock. So a clock right there, and it does start off easier. A dinosaur sitting right here. Then it says there should be a dog somewhere. There it is. Then it says that there should be some books here somewhere. Where are these books located? Oh, here's the money. And the book is going to drive me crazy because I don't see it. Someone's in the comment section looking at this video right now being like, dude, it's right there. It's in the corner. Where is this book at? Well, here's a good example. So, like, this is the timer here at the bottom. So what you could do also just hit the hit system. Oh, the books are right in front of me, too. And it will tell you exactly where. You can see the lights are flickering because it takes advantage of, like I said, sometimes the games manipulate that light on the top when you do certain things. And then basically you just keep going through certain levels. Now you can see something to point out here. Since this game is not HD, it has little black bars on the side that say touchscreen games. So that's the difference when you play a game that's not HD, that doesn't say HD here at the bottom. Like these new HD games say. These will take up the full screen. The ones that don't say that are going to have those little bars at the bottom. It's not a big deal, but it is something to mention if you guys are interested in that. So there's a lot of variety of games in here, guys. If you guys are fans of like touchscreen games and having something at a bar or something for your family to play, like my family, when they come over again after this COVID stuff is over and they see this Mega Touch thing that I have over there and this one, I think this is going to be played at parties nonstop. When I have people over, I think there's going to be people on this all the time. There's so many different games to play that they're not going to want to get off, you know, because there's so many cool things to play. And, you know, there's a lot of cool games on here. Like, you know, this erotic section has a lot of cool games that people know about on the system. Dungeon Drinking 2 is a really popular one. You know, it's got strip poker, all that kind of stuff on here. A lot of card games on here as well. Texas Hold'em, you know, something that's kind of like Wheel of Fortune and stuff is on here as well. Liar's Dice basically is on here. You know, a lot of different games to play on here. A lot of different action games on here. Puzzle, like I said, over 150 games on here. So I'm really, really happy with this machine. Unfortunately, these machines are getting harder and harder to buy without being ridiculously expensive. Some people are selling this model here, which is the HD3, which is their latest model that they sell for like $1,500. So it is hard to get this one. The MegaTouch that I have, I've done a video on. You guys can check that one out. Probably has games that more people are aware of because MegaTouch was more popular for a lot of bars around, especially around the East Coast. But this one has the benefit of having HD games that look fantastic, at least the model of the MegaTouch I have. I'm really happy to have kind of like the best of both worlds. The best of MegaTouch games, which I have the 2014 set, and then the best of JVL, which are the two competing platforms that were in the bars and stuff back then. So a lot of good games in here for you guys to play, guys. So that's a quick look over of what you guys can expect on this system. Let's go ahead and get to the table and let's wrap this up. All right, guys, so that was the JVL touchscreen system. I'm really, really happy with both of these, the MegaTouch and the JVL that I have there in the corner. This is going to give me fantastic, you know, fun times when people are coming over after COVID is over and we can finally have people over. This will be another thing that people can play, you know, while some people are in the arcade room, some people are in here playing some board games. Then we have some people in here, you know, using the MegaTouch to play a bunch of different games on there, using the JVL touchscreen system to play a bunch of different games on there. I know my grandparents and aunts and uncles, once they get over here and they see these machines because they haven't seen them yet, they will be on them nonstop and won't ever get off. There's so many good card games on there, so many easy touchscreen games for my family to play and friends to play that they don't need any explanation, and it's fantastic. So if you guys have any questions about what I showed you guys there in the overview, as always, leave those down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.